Habari.
Mbona umepotea hivyo?
Yeah, ndio. Hey, so we're just about to go and see a family who, it's actually the first child I helped in Tanzania was the son of this family called Faraji, and he was going into child labour, and I was told about it, so I went to go and help him. But this family is very close to my heart because I've worked with them for that long, but also because I think they are, it's probably, well it is, it's one of the saddest stories that it was the first one I come across, but it's also one of the saddest ones I came across. So, but I'll fill in the blanks after we've left, so I'll introduce you to the So things have changed a little. I'm just gonna dodge inside. This is Esther, and this is her daughter Emma. So we've come to do a visit to see how they are, and okay, so we've come to do a visit to see how they are, and while Esther was out in the fields the other day, she found a little boy who was alone, and she was like, "Where are you from?" And he'd ran away from, his father had beat him severely, and he ran away. And she said, "Where are you going?" And he said, "I'm not going anywhere, I've just run away." So he's gone homeless. So they've got the boy here, they're coming now with the boy, and they've asked what we can do to help. Was to show you what it's like. We just called in for a normal home visit to see how Esther was, and to sort out a few other items, and to get an update on her CD4, her HIV status. And this lady has very little to nothing, and she's taken an abandoned child under her care. So. Turning into one of those days, so you can probably hear in the background some really loud music. So there's like a politics tour going on. So there's a guy here speaking political agendas, basically. Well, they're playing music, but we've gone to announce. Tom's going to announce on the tannoy for the boy who's called Akilli to come here so we can speak with him. This is where you realise, for me, that the less people have, the less it owns them, and the more they're willing to, the less fearful they are to reach out and share. There are a great many comfortable and happy families in the UK, and there are a great many children who need homes, foster care and stuff like this. And it doesn't come as naturally. I mean, granted, I guess in the UK you don't see homeless children wandering around on the streets as often. And if they do, then someone helps them pretty quickly. But this family have nothing, and they never have. And I haven't touched on the circumstances of why they wound up this way yet. And Esther, the mother, has HIV, and she's actually, her CD4's been that low now that she's developed AIDS, and the prognosis isn't good for Esther now. It's quite likely that she'll die soon, and we're going to move her to the site so we can keep an eye on her, and make sure she's comfortable when that does happen. So, and obviously make sure that her daughter Naema's are okay. So, I mean, you might have saw Naema has a disability as well, but she's also a HIV. As I say, let me explain that story while I don't have this tannoy in the background.
Hey, I've just been editing the video that you're watching about Akilli, and I noticed in that video that several times I said I'd tell you Esther's story, and I never got a chance to. So just so as the video makes sense, I thought I'd record this just to quickly fill in Esther's story. So I met Esther, it was the first family I helped, and I heard her son was going into child labour, and Esther and her daughter are both HIV positive, and her daughter is physically and mentally disabled on top of that. So the father has already died, he's already lost his life to HIV. And when I met them, they were living in a mud shack, and there was an abusive drunk letting them live there so long as they worked for him. And he was working them hard, and he would come at night and attack them, and he's not a nice guy at all. And he'd made the arrangement for Faraji to go into child labour, so he would get a cut from him doing this. So I put a stop to that. I moved the family into our house, they get nutritional support. We got Esther into business, even weaving baskets by hand from the grass that she collects out in the bush, and we sell them in town to people who come in contact with tourists. And Faraji's a classmate of Dominic's now, so the unusual thing, the sad thing about the story, which is sad anyway, it's a sad situation anyway, but Neema is the eldest of the two children, but she's the one with HIV, so normally if one child does and one child doesn't, it's normally the youngest one that has HIV, because the parents will caught it later date because they were unfaithful or something like this. But sadly, for all, Neema escaped the virus from her parents, as Faraji did. A man carrying the HIV virus attacked her one night, and he raped her, and as a result of that attack, Neema now has HIV. So, a brutally sad story. I'm sure you'll agree. It's just... So I'm very close to this family, being the first family I helped, and they are wonderful, wonderful people. Esther forced me, when I went back to visit my nephew, to take a kilo of maize flour so my parents could eat ugali, flour and water, like she does. Because it was the only thing she could offer, and it's the only way she can offer her thanks. An amazing lady, as I say, and it's terrible that life dealt them the hand it dealt them, but for now they are happy, they are a happy family. And for all Esther's not getting any better, we'll be there to support them. No matter what goes on, we will be there for Neema and for Faraji as well. So. But we don't think about those days until they come here. We just take it as they come. Yeah, we don't dwell on stuff like that. So. Okay, so that's the story that I needed to slot in the video, so sorry if this is a bit random, but it just didn't make sense without it. Okay, bye.
For now, we need to try and sort out Akilli, who, as I say, this wonderful lady saw wandering through the fields alone and called him and said, "Where are you going and what are you doing?" And he said, "I've run from my father, he's beat me too much now." And she said, "So where are you going?" And his answer was, "Nowhere." So he'd have wound up one of the street kids in town. He'd have wound up, and it's a dark life. It's a dark life. These kids they are beaten, they are attacked, they get involved with glue, with alcohol. This life in the streets, in the towns is it's dark. It's a living nightmare. And thankfully, what you can only deem, if you're ever going to call something an angel has found him wandering through the fields, and took him into her care and brought him to the village so he could get looked after. So we're just trying to find him now anyway.
Yeah, you have
So
Inshallah lunch.
So he needs some help.
Yeah.
He needs a place, he needs a home. Yeah? Okay. So this is Akilli. Very shy and timid, naturally so, considering he's been living with an abusive father who's been beating him so much that he's chose to go and live on the street. So I'm just going to go and talk to the village chairman. I suspect this boy's coming to live with me. Kubwa sana. I like this though, Sharo Barrow.
Yeah.
Sharo Barrow. So, as I suspected, Akilli has wound up coming back to stay with us here. So he's a very troubled young man, but so here is he's just watching me make a movie. Akilli, sema mambo. But yeah, I'm glad he's here. He's met the puppies, he's feeling relaxed.
He's busy.
Mkali.
No, hapana. Hapana.
Jela niko kule kubwa.
Yeah.
Nataka kwenda mazoezi.
I want to do exercise. Oh, I need to do exercise. Yeah. Look, didn't you?
Janiki's busy making friends. Rafiki yangu though, eh? Roger's learning English. What's this look for? Sharo. Akilli lala salama. Ay. Domi. Lala salama.
Good morning.
Wait. Don't confuse Akilli.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Akilli.
Good night.
Does he want the light on or off?
Oh,
For-
unataka tai wake? Unataka tai wake? Yes.
On.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just close.
Kafunga?
He said yes. You need light.
On.
Yeah.
So, you have a light underneath.
Yeah.
I not realize.
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Okay. Sawa. Usiku mwema, Domi. Usiku mwema, Akilli.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Akilli.
Wakili, say good night.
Good night.
Good night. Nzuri sana. Nzuri sana. Lala salama. Well. So. I go outside. I was grabbing my torch. It was pretty unexpected today. And
Just thought I'd nip outside quickly. It's a totally unexpected day, as you've seen. So I'm not sure how long Akilli will be with us, because we've been in contact with his mother, but we don't even know if she's going to be contactable tomorrow. She started making excuses today, saying she needed to arrange a funeral, so she couldn't do anything to help him, and it just sounded a bit funny, a bit off. So she might have abandoned him here. We don't know. We'll see. But what we do know is he needed a home. He needed some some friendly faces around him. And he certainly got that sharing a room with Dominic. Dominic's always laughing and joking a lot lately since he came here, so. You never know what Uchira's going to bring you. You never quite know. The day I wound up with 2 new residents, a puppy that we've called Safari, and Akilli later in the day. So we'll see what goes on tomorrow, and I'll just have to keep everyone updated, but I might have just gained a new resident at the children's home, I don't know. I hope not, for the sake of Akilli, because he loves his mum dearly, and the second he heard her voice he broke down in tears, so I hope she does the right thing by him and comes back for him, and we'll try and support her with her child if she does, get them a house and things like that, and get him back with his mum where he wants to be. But we'll have to see, as I say, whether we can even contact her tomorrow remains to be seen. So, okay, so another day in Uchira. Bye, everyone.
As for me and my house, we'll serve you, Lord, lifting holy hands and worship. No, we will not bow down to the gods of man. We will worship the God